Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Probably the most depressing intro I've ever done for a video. Like just in general, not even just for this show, just in general, probably the most depressing intro I've ever done. Like, hey guys, Paradoxic here. But yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're back into episode 14 of season 1, which this one. It's titled Tahiti. So I'm not entirely sure what kind of game they're playing at here. What with the ending of the last episode and the title of this episode, maybe the writers are really fond and also perhaps skilled at fiddling and playing with heartstrings. Maybe that's all there is to it. But yeah, so this one's called Tahiti. And in the last episode, we had the team tracking down Quinn through a cybertech weapons delivery of some sort. I think the delivery was actually probably the bionic leg that they actually gave to Mike at the end of the episode, but we'll get to that later. But we had the team... No, that's a piece of fluff, get away. We had the team working to track down Quinn, and it was a nicely kind of structured episode. They had different perspectives from different members of the team because they were all doing different things in different places on the train at the time, so that was a cool aspect to it. And it all led up to them finding Quinn at the house he was at and receiving whatever, and Skye went in alone. And she found Mike in some sort of pressure tank, like a barbaric tank or like some kind of tank thing, like something that looks like a tanning bed, but it's not really a tanning bed. So it's something that Simmons described later on. But she found Mike in the wine cellar or basement or whatever of the threshold, and then Quinn caught up to her, as did another member of Cybertech. And then they put Mike. They put the bionic leg onto Mike. They woke him up and they put the leg on, and then it started to transform into an actual Winter Soldier style kind of leg, like how the Winter Soldier has the arm, but then he has a leg and all that stuff. And then Mike began acting under orders presumably from Centipede, but they warned him to not engage with Shield and instead take out the room full of cybertech people. And then Quinn shot Skye. Not once, because once was not enough for the motherfucker, but twice. He shot Skye twice. And the second one was nice and up close to really get the bullet in there and to leave her fatally wounded. So, yeah, you guys remember exactly how emotional I was at the end of the episode? I think if you don't remember, then feel free to go back and check out that reaction if you want to see me just shedding tears and screaming and threatening to break Quinn's skull again. But that was pretty much the gist of it, of that ending. But Coulson found Skye mostly bled out on the floor, trying to reach for the door, and then Simmons ordered them to put her in the tank, and then they took her onto the bus and everything. So the team is incredibly tense right now. They're on the verge of genuinely losing someone, and Quinn is in their captivity. They didn't let him go. They caught up to him. They've taken him captive on the bus, so he's awaiting interrogation. But yeah, Skye is not looking so good. Skye is not looking so good. But yeah, I'm still kind of speechless over that ending. I think it's like, you'd think being given a week I'd actually learn to get over it, but it's just not that simple. It's just really not that simple, and especially when a show like this actually, takes the time to really let you delve into these characters and actually fall in love with them so much, and it's just, and they're like, bang, bang, deal with the loss, deal with it. But no, I can't deal with it. I refuse to, but I'm also completely unable to. So Skye is just on the verge, I believe. I guess she is fatally wounded, that much is obvious, but what her actual medical state is, I assume at least one of the bullets is still in there. Because I think the up close one, I think maybe that could have gone through, if not the first one, because the first one was traveling over a longer distance. So you know, once it actually reaches the body, there's more obstacles for it to go through, whereas the second one is really straight from the gun. I mean, I've never shot a gun. I don't really know how guns work. Most of my knowledge comes from how they work in actual movies and TV shows, which again is more fictitious than anything else, but at the same time it's like still, surely when it comes to guns, like regular guns, they still have to abide by the laws of physics and all that stuff. So I assume the second one maybe had more of a chance of actually going straight through. But either way, she is wounded. I mean, whether or not she has internal bleeding, we've yet to find out, and all that sort of stuff. But I don't feel too good. I do not feel good at all about this. But yeah, she is in the air, both literally and figuratively. Literally and figuratively. But yeah, Mike was given a bionic leg, and he is now a part of something powered by cybertech known as Project Deathlock. So many people did inform me in the comments that, you know, I've been watching an origin story, MCU adapted, of course, not canonical, but it is an origin story for the character known as Deathlock, aka Mike Peterson. So that is a very, very cool detail. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. I mean, Mike went to the park to see if he could. I think his son was probably there or something. But I mean, we didn't see Ace, but I assume he was there for Ace or in some way. But they said he can't see him, like not just yet. So I think they would decide the time. But then the camera did pan over to his leg and showed the little label that said Project Deathlock. So Deathlock is now here. Mike Peterson is Deathlock. So I mean, he doesn't really have a suit to go on with it. It's just the jacket and the leg. I mean, he had a suit before, but that was Shield provided. But yeah, Project Deathlock is a go. And yeah, I think that besides from all that stuff, I don't really know what else of significant value actually happened in the last one. But yeah, I need to see Skye survive. I need to see Skye survive this. So yeah, hopefully episode 14 gives me that breath of relief that I so desperately need after the trauma that was the last episode. But yeah, episode 14, Tahiti. Let's go explore this, shall we?
She shouldn't have been.
She's stubborn, we all know this.
I'm her SO. It's on me.
It's on Quinn. Why is no one blaming Quinn?
Is the man who shot her, Ian Quinn.
Thank you, the logical one here, May. Jesus, blame Quinn. Stop this self-deprecating.
We can keep her comfortable, but you'll need to make a decision on whether or not you want to keep her on life support.
No.
You're saying there's nothing to be done?
No, please. No.
I'm saying you need to call her family. Get them here as soon as possible.
No. Please, there has to be something. There has to be something. Please.
In that case, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Finally. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten.
That's it. No, I don't care. Kill him.
You can't!
Oh, she can and she will.
Because you're defenseless, like she was.
That's it. That's it. No, I'd pay to watch a 2-hour loop of that. Infinite loop. Forget it. Infinite.
Outside, now.
I would pay to watch that on loop. I will happily pay to watch that on loop. I don't care. Just drop the table on him.
He deserves to die, not her.
It says here your heart was perforated, torn in half.
That part of it I understood. And yet, they managed to heal the damaged tissue completely. We need to understand how.
If his heart is damaged anyway, should he not die instantly? Or... I mean, he died fairly quickly, but still, any damage to the heart, that's like a major organ. Surely that should rapidly decrease the time left to live.
I did like seeing you go after Quinn.
Me and you both, Wardy. Me and you both.
You don't open the blinds like that very often.
Shield 616.
She was saving us someone special.
You're the worst at following orders.
Maybe. But I like this one.
Isn't that Bill Paxton?
Immediately turn Ian Quinn
The late Bill Paxton, I should say. Is his name Bill Paxton? I can't remember, but I think...
Agent Antoine Triplet? Agent
Antoine
Philip Coulson.
Triplet.
To look at him, but
Now where is he? Can't help you with that. No worries.
They're gonna
I'll
fight.
find Quinn myself.
They're gonna fight,
I'm
aren't
sure
they?
he's tucked between the jacuzzi and the squash court.
They're gonna fight, I can tell.
Hey.
Oh, they're gonna fight. Oh, they're fighting. Come on, boys. Oh, Jesus.
No, thank you. My head's still ringing from the last visitor.
Good.
The last visitor left you with a head.
Oh, damn. I like Garrett. I like him.
I'm interested in one of your newer projects. I think keeping Agent Coulson here from throwing you out of this plane is the very weak heartbeat of a young agent downstairs. The only incentive I have for not tearing your tongue out is that you use it to answer my questions.
Yeah, I like Garrett. I like him.
You understand that? No.
Straightforward and to the point. Oh, damn. Shaking his tongue. Jeez.
Tell us about Cyber Tech and the Deathlock program.
I want to get some hand sanitizer on that as well.
Right?
It was the Clairvoyant.
Your Clairvoyant say anything about me knocking your tongue out?
Clairvoyant sees everything.
So he hides the teeth knocking part from you then.
What happened to him?
So shooting the girl forces you to either figure it all out,
So the Clairvoyant can finally see.
Oh, god damn
or
it.
you let the girl die.
Oh, he's using Skye as bait for all of this. Oh, he's using Skye as bait for all of this.
Quinn shot Skye
Fuck.
for nothing.
Regeneration, is that even possible?
Even if this
Ask the
miracle
doctor.
does exist, we don't know where to find it.
Maybe we can track down the location through a virtual paper trail of some sort or another.
Makes sense. I'm guessing it has to be Black Book, something they want to keep off record as much as possible, as
Let's
deeply
start
as
with the
possible.
travel
Jesus.
memorandum from the date Coulson got stabbed.
Well, that's cool.
It's not an encryption.
No? It's a map! Oh, that's clever. That's clever. That's real clever. Yeah.
What if they don't want to help us? I'll say pretty please.
The doctor's alive, and the place intact.
Yeah. Haven't mentioned it? I'm starting to like Garrett. He's a cool guy.
Can use to help Skye.
How was the drive from Istanbul?
Oh, jeez. Maybe you need to actually drive to Istanbul and tell them afterwards. Well, okay, just shoot the cameras out then otherwise.
Simmons.
Jammer, or like no signal. Well, given how far underground they are, it's likely.
There's too much mountain on top of us.
Yeah.
It's better.
Does Fitz have like a night gun that he can use? I feel like that would be very useful.
We will defend ourselves.
Well, they've got to run out of ammo soon.
I count 2 hostiles.
They can't shoot forever. Flashbang! There we go. There we go. Got one of them. Oh, damn, Garrett. Oof. There we go.
No hard feelings, Bob.
Press F to pay respect, huh? The 2012 version, or 2013, whenever this came out.
This one's hit.
I'm loving the music in this scene as well. It's like a mix between tense and action.
Go. The timer.
The timer?
Got a problem!
What timer? Like a bomb? Tell me there's no bomb here. Okay, he's out and about.
Simtex.
Semtex.
The whole place is rigged to blow.
Oh, fantastic.
Explosive to bring down the whole mountain on.
If I don't hear anything within the hour, I'm going after them.
Yeah, well, given what's there. Oh, crap, no. Skye, please. Come on. No flatlining, no flatlining.
Got it.
Oof, okay, that's a long needle. That was a long needle. Not phobic myself, but still, that was a long needle. Oh, that's where he was. Oh, yep, spider leg machine and everything, yep. Whoa. Yeah, that PTSD comes crashing down him like a ton of bricks.
Is that where?
Like his face as well, just like, god damn. How explosive is Semtex? Is it like less than or more than C4? Or is it basically C4? Tahiti. Oh, that's Tahiti. That's whatever the hell they used on him.
Hey, you with me?
What did Coulson see?
Took the drug at the Skye.
No, don't give it to her. The drug? They can't give it to her.
All right.
Why not?
Right now, we just need to get out of this mountain and off the ground. Now, let's go.
Why can't they give it to Skye? What did he find? What is Tahiti? Oh jeez, come on. Jump on board, boys, jump on board. That's it. Goodbye, Bethesda. Goodbye, Bethesda and Tahiti. She's a-comin'.
She's spiking.
Apparently the devil came back with her. Jesus, okay. No, come on. 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 Skye? Skye?
She's stabilizing.
Okay, so that was just like a reaction of some sort. She's okay then. She's okay. Alright.
Tell me what we just saw?
The devil trying to...
Girl's a fighter.
Yeah.
What was that stuff you just gave her?
You said there was good news.
I did? Oh, yeah. You still have your tongue.
Is that really good news though? Because that means he can still talk. Come on, Garrett. Let's be real here. Yeah, it's being extracted out of something. Whoa, yep, that's definite extraction business going on. GH. What the hell? You're telling me they put alien blood in Skye? That's an alien! No humans are blue, that's an alien!
Phil.
Oh damn, okay, well she looks a lot better, yeah. Got a fair bit of that complexion back as well. She looks a lot better.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.T.I will return in a moment.
Cheers, Philly C.
No, I'm parched and weary.
Is she Asgardian? I'm getting Asgardian vibes from her. Midgard. Okay, yeah, she's Asgardian. Happily
Do
married.
you prefer her to me?
Well, yeah.
I would assume so.
Told pretty much everyone. That's why I married her.
Yeah. You see, that's what love is about, Madame Asgardian.
Jimmy!
Damn, she got him to ditch his woman? She got him to ditch his wife?
Protect you and keep you safe.
It's Lorelei.
Lorelei.
My
Okay.
name is Lorelei.
Lorelei. Don't know who the hell that is. Okay. End of that episode. So Lorelei, she is presumably I mean, that's a nice little kind of mid/post-credit scene. I think, you know, it's a nice kind of tie into what the next episode is going to be like. But Lorelei, yes, I mean, I think she very clearly, like, logically speaking, she has to be Asgardian. She has to, I mean, not only with the whole, like, referring to Earth as Midgard thing and her the formality in her speech, but, I mean, her get-up as a whole just screams Asgardian pretty much. So, yeah, Lorelei, she's the new one, and she seems like a verbal Poison Ivy almost. I mean, Poison Ivy, she kisses you and you die pretty much, but with this one, it's like, you know, verbal mind control, or just general mind control, pretty much. But yeah, she just got him to ditch his wife like a day after they got married. That is some dangerous stuff. But Lorelei, we will see in the next episode. But holy cow, this episode was insane. Wow, plenty to talk about. That beginning really pulled at my heartstrings, but it also made me very, very happy watching the ending, if you know what I mean. That particular scene, ow, bash my thumb against my own headphones. That's a great start. But yeah, that doctor talking about, I mean, the way, I mean, it sounds obvious, but when you see a doctor walk into the room, like doctors, they're like you know, like they know not to play around. They know not to like gauge your reaction first with fake news. They know to be honest and straightforward whilst also kind of softening the blow. But when a doctor walks into the room to tell you how anything, you can obviously tell what's happening by the look on there, especially if they just look depressed, and you can just tell this is going to be some bad shit coming our way. But if they have even the slightest kind of glimmer of hope in their eyes, then you can tell, okay, it's not completely bad news. There is some hope to be had and all that stuff. So, but this doctor, the way, like, the facial expression she had, I think, I mean, I kept saying, like, please give me some good news, but I was still, like, you know, I was, like, thinking to myself, like, this isn't going to end well. This is not going to end well. And then, of course, she says that the damage is too big for them. I think she said, like, the bullets had perforated her small and large intestine. So I think, I mean, not a medical professional, so I may be underestimating the importance of certain organs in the human body, but I mean, the intestines aren't generally what I think of when I think of like when I think of vital organs. Like, I mean, if I try and think of vital organs off the top of my head, I go brain, heart, the obvious ones, then stuff like lungs, maybe the liver, you know, stuff that actually helps keep the body going, and like intestines, like the one main thing I think of is like bowel movements, like how, I mean, I assume that's how that stuff works, like, you know, like one of the intestines actually controls the kind of traveling of waste to your bowels to then be distributed in the toilet. But yeah, I think, yeah, but like intestines aren't generally like, I mean, not, I mean, again, clearly from this that they are pretty vital organs, but it was not going to be my first thought. But then, given where the shots are placed as well in her abdomen, it makes sense. Like going through her abdomen, they would have actually gone for something a lot lower and closer to that kind of area. So the intestines in that sense make sense. But the shots had perforated that, and they managed to stabilize her. But then they said the team, and especially Coulson, would have to make a decision at some point as to whether or not they wanted to keep her on life support. So I mean, life support, I mean, I'm not entirely sure like how like kind of costly that is in terms of resources. Like, I mean, I guess with life support, it helps keep you breathing. I mean, like Ward said, it's keeping her breathing, it's filtering her blood, it's doing everything for her that the body is unable to do because of the damage. But in terms of like power, I'm not sure how like costly that is. Like when they say, I mean, they obviously say that because, like, for one thing, it could be, like, resource-wise, it could be costly, it could be draining power, and for another thing, like, that then leads into the case where, like, if you can't save the person, then you're literally just wasting power, you're keeping them alive, when, I mean, she's very likely comatose in this situation as well, like, she's completely out cold, her body is barely managing to keep itself alive, let alone allow her to be awake. So, you know, it's like, you won't be able, I mean, you'll be able, I think there are, I mean, depending on the damage, I think there are some cases where comatose people are still aware and they can still hear stuff going on around them. But in Skye's case, I don't know how likely that would be. So I think regardless, they'd probably have to say their goodbyes and stuff. But then even then, it's like, you know, you're keeping them alive, especially when you've been told that the doctors can do nothing to save them, and in that case, I think even the doctors would have to would probably be obligated in some sense to actually pull the plug anyway, because again, it's it's something. Life support is something someone else might need more if there's actually a chance that they can be saved, and again, it's costly in terms of power and space and whatnot. So. Yeah, but she was, but Coulson had to make the call, and I think even like I think the hard hitting blow was when the doctor said, like, you know, you might want to inform her family as to what's happening, and Coulson, like, we are her family, we are literally the only family she has at this point, so we are the ones making that call, but yeah, that was tough to watch. And then that was when, of course, Coulson decided that he had to take her to T.A.H.I.T.I. That aspect of it I understood, because it was nothing to do with the resurrection. It was nothing to do. I mean, it was nothing that they could do. Like the Tahiti doctors were the only other people he could think of when the regular Shield doctors couldn't do anything at all. So, you know, with this one, it's like, I think there was slightly less for him to worry about, knowing that Skye was basically on the verge of death, like, she was still kind of hanging on that borderline, so, like, the need for, the need to resurrect her from anything was still pretty much a no-go, so he didn't have to worry about putting her through the same trauma that he went through, in that sense, so... Bethesda, I think, they said that was the one they put down on the records, but that wasn't even a real location, or like that wasn't even where Coulson himself was actually treated. So I think, I don't know if the place that they went to was still Bethesda. I can't. I mean, or if like, or maybe the real Bethesda was the place that they went to, but the Bethesda that they actually logged on the record was like a non-existent place, or like non-existent coordinates, or something like that. But either way, the place they went to was a very. It seemed like a very, very Black Books type, off the records type location, like where like no one else can know, like even if their clearance even if their clearance allows it, like without the most direct and explicit like permission to do so, they can't access those kinds of locations or those kinds of like information. So yeah, they took her to Bethesda. And we met Garrett, Agent Garrett. Said a few times. I like him. He seems like a very cool. I think he seems like a much sassier and wittier Coulson. Like Coulson seems like the kind of guy who can crack a few jokes here and there, but mainly like he's like the dad. But Garrett seems like the cool uncle at Christmas who would actually sneak you like a tiny little sip of alcohol or something, like a tiny sip of beer. Like Coulson would be like, you're not old enough to do it, and then Garrett would be like, you're 16 now, you're a growing kid, just take a sip. He seems like that kind of relationship there. But yeah, Garrett seems like a cool guy, and I recognize. I don't know if that's the name of the actor. I think Bill Paxton. I feel like I'm getting that name wrong, but I think the actor, I recognize him from some other stuff. He was in Titanic. I remember him in Titanic. But the actor himself, I think I remember reading like a news article a few years back where he actually passed away. So I mean, he obviously got the chance to be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Before that, but I think I read something about him passing away, so that definitely makes it feel kind of weirder watching someone then who's dead now. But he's still a great character. I love him already. But he was not only Coulson's former partner in as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, but he was also the former SO, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, when I read or hear SO, my mind automatically jumps to significant other, but he was not the significant other to Ward. I don't think either of them swung that way, or we don't know for sure which way Garrett swings, but either way, but SO I think is, correct me if I'm wrong, supervising officer. I think. I feel like, I mean, saying it out loud sounds wrong. Thinking supervising officer, it sounds right, but I could be wrong. I think they mentioned it like back in episode 2, because I think that was when Grant was assigned. That was when Grant was assigned as as Skye's SO. So I think supervising officer might be right, but again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But he was the former SO to Ward, and then when Ward jumped over to Coulson's side, Antoine Triplet, or Agent Trip, I think he likes to be called, was the new agent under Garrett's wing. So now it's Garrett and Triplet doing their own little SO and agent kind of dynamic duo thing, and even Trip and Ward actually know each other personally. So that's just relationship dynamics all around, just cool friendships all around. But yeah, Garrett, I mean, just seeing him threaten Quinn was just so satisfying. Like, seeing Maeve beat the crap out of him was satisfying. Like, it was like, we got both ends of the spectrum. We got both ends. We got the physical, like, bad cop end, and then we got the good cop end, which was Garrett just threatening to nuke his ass if anything happened to Skye. And I mean, he barely even knows Skye, but he knows how important he considers Coulson to be very important to him, and he knows how important Coulson's team is to him. So he's like, if anything does happen to that girl, I will happily rip out your tongue and make you eat it. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, Garrett did seem pretty much like almost immediately like protective over Skye's well-being and everything. So that was kind of cool to see. Again, just that kind of cool uncle and everything. Like that was literally the vibe I got from him. Like that humorous, sassy kind of uncle that's like just knows to crack jokes to kind of ease the tension of the situation. Even with Fitz, like just being like, oh, walking into like happy murder or whatever. But yeah, Garrett is cool. Trip is cool as well, and apparently Trip has the hots for the biotech gal, otherwise known as Gemma Simmons. So I mean, Fitzsimmons, I mean, it's literally the pairing that they've come up with in the show, but Fitzsimmons, I mean, I don't even have to come up with a name for that OTP. Fitzsimmons works by itself. It's magical. It's true. It works. So, yeah, but I mean, if they do roll that way, I don't know what's going to happen. I guess I don't mind as long as they actually develop it. But, yeah, I mean, Fitzsimmons already works for me, but we'll see whichever way they go. But, yeah, Dr. Stryton, I believe... Coulson said that they could contact for information, but I think I believe he was the one in the car that Coulson spoke to, the one who actually revealed all that information about the 7 operations and, you know, unethical techniques and all that sort of stuff. But then he went off the grid, I think, and then that's where they found the GH325. So yeah, so I mean, they said GH probably stands for guest house, but then on that wall where the GH was, I mean, surely that can't stand for guest house, or maybe it's because that alien is in the guest house or something. I think, or I mean, does the guest house thing still even stand, or is that like, or is that still some kind of red herring code? I don't know. I can't tell. I think maybe it might be a red herring code to lead the person to the place and then no further, because unless they have the code to get past the Istanbul driving thing, then you know, like, they're not going to know anything more. But yeah, but the guest house thing was sanctioned by Fury, but by a level 10 agent, and the records themselves had like a level 10 classification, so it was put together and, you know, classified by Fury himself as well. So Fury really went to lengths to keep this away from Coulson. Fat lot of good that did him, but yeah. But that was that. We will get further into the GH325 in a moment. But that was that. We had okay, so I guess my theory about Quinn being clairvoyant can just go out the window. That's not true anymore. I think he did say the clairvoyant wanted Skye shot, because he knew one of the things he knew was that Coulson was actually resurrected. He was resurrected from death and brought back and all that sort of stuff. So, and the clairvoyant was one of those people interested in just how the hell that actually happened in the first place. So he figured attacking someone close to him and putting them on the verge of death would prompt Coulson to, unless he told Quinn to shoot her non-fatally but fatally all the same, there's no there's not really much of a way. I mean, you know, he told. I mean, I refuse to believe like Quinn would have shot Skye without his own passion for doing so as well. I mean, you know, again, like, I mean, even Garrett said, like, Quinn's not usually the guy to do the gun work himself. He usually has other people do it. So, like, with this one, I mean, you could tell in the last episode he had his own motivations for actually shooting Skye. Like, he wanted to get under Coulson's skin. So, you know, surely he would like shooting Skye. He would have wanted to savor that moment and everything like that. So, you know, I think, truth be told, I don't think there's much of a way that the clairvoyant could have known that, you know, the Quinn's not going to give in to his own temptations and try and shoot her near the heart or something and go for something deliberately fatal that would have actually gotten her dead long before they got her to Bethesda. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe he did take that into consideration and actually tell him, like, you know, I know how much you want to shoot Skye, but don't go against my word. Actually, just shoot her, you know, where it will do damage, but not too much, enough for Coulson to want to actually, you know, save her by any means necessary. So then he went for the intestine shots and everything. But yeah, so the clairvoyant, I mean, I guess he knew Skye was close to Coulson, so he figured, you know, go for Coulson where he's weakest. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's fairly close to like pretty much any member of the team, but I guess Skye, I think understandably Skye, like, given like what he knows about her past, given how much more sensitive her past is and how much closer Skye and Coulson have gotten because of it, he knows, yep, Skye's his weak point. So shoot her, put her into this kind of a state, and then that will prompt him to look for whatever look for whatever information it was that actually brought him back, and then we'll find out exactly what happened to him. And I think because I think given given the fact alone that Coulson was brought back, the information behind that fact is pretty much like a gold mine for anyone. Like anyone looking to start a war or build an army or do any kind of physical damage will want to know how not to lose people, or even if they do, they will want to know how to bring back the people they've lost. So like whatever happened to Coulson, it is like an informational and scientific gold mine pretty much for anyone, especially for any villain pretty much. So yeah, but it was just a kind of ploy to get Coulson to actually search for the information much more desperately, but it was also an emotional trigger. It was an emotional trigger that led him to want to do anything humanly possible to save her. So that led them to the GH325. So yeah, but then Coulson finds Tahiti. He finds okay, so okay, I'm gonna go back and just look at this thing. I'm gonna go back and look at this thing real quick in like a kind of freeze frame fashion to see what the hell was there. So it was being extracted. Like there were tubes with pipes and whatnot going into like a machine, and then pipes going from that machine into the main kind of tank or wherever. But it was different vials. It was numbered that way. That's why it was 325, 118, 329, all that kind of stuff. So it's like multiple. I mean, I don't know if it's numbered by the amount of tiles, or maybe like each test tube is different. But either way, 325 is the one they actually used on Coulson, and I go the one they used on Skye. But it was being extracted out of that thing in the tank. It was being extracted out of that thing in the tank, and the GH on that door on the wall is there. Yep, and then he pulls it out, and oh crap! Just fast forward it on. So yeah, so it's in a tank. The tank itself is filled with some kind of liquid, not water, I don't think, but some kind of light blue liquid that's maintaining it somewhat. It's got like, what is it? It's a decaying body. That much is certain. I don't know if it's been decaying for long, or if it's still preserved in that condition under the liquid. But yeah, so it's got half a body. It only has half a body, like the top half of the body. The legs are completely gone. I think the pelvic muscles are still there, from what I can tell. I mean, it's alien, so who knows if they even call them pelvic muscles. I mean, it's humanoid, so I guess it still would. But so like the pipes are literally going inside of it, and it's extracting whatever's there, like blood, maybe some other maybe some other substances, like maybe proteins, like like anything that they can harvest from that. Yeah, so I mean, whether or not they only found half the body or took the top half of the body is something I'm still questioning. But yeah, I mean, it's got stitching as well, like upside the torso and like the chest, like it's been cut open and then put back together. But then it's only got half the body. Yeah, like the head, like there's flesh missing from the neck, and the eye is I can't see the other one. An eye is missing and stuff. So yeah, so this is what they used to treat Coulson. I mean, I guess this is what they used to resurrect Coulson, maybe? Yeah, because I think once they brought him back from death, then then they could use other stuff that's more human but still unethical to actually bring him back. I think the unethical stuff was probably the restoration of the mind. I think that was what was those were where the more unethical techniques lied. Like him saying constantly, "Please let me die." Like that was when they were actually working on his mind, firing those lasers. So that was probably the unethical stuff. But this one, I think I'm willing to bet this one, the alien stuff, that was used for resurrection. And thinking about it, it makes sense. It actually makes sense in the way that, one thing I want to point out, right, is that this is exactly the kind of trope they go for from my own experience, from my own viewing experience, this is the exact kind of trope they go for in the majority of like alien invasion movies or like alien movies, like where an alien ship crash lands and then like one lone alien comes crawling out, and then like the military are all over that crap. They're all over that shit. And they take the alien hostage. They take them to Area 51. They quarantine that entire area so no one gets to the ship. And then they start experimenting on the ship, and then they start experimenting on the alien too. So, you know, this just follows that exact... I mean, we don't know the story behind this alien. I'm willing to bet he did crash on Earth. I'm willing to bet he did, but I mean, whether that was like a crash landing out of innocence, or whether there was an actual like kind of firefight and he fell to the ground, or what happened, but I'm not really sure. But... yeah, I think this pretty much follows that trope of like finding an alien on Earth, and then the army and the government just, you know, clamoring all over that stuff, like hiding it from the public behind the curtain, and then doing all sorts of experiments on it and harvesting its organs and seeing what they can do with it, you know. So this follows that exact trope, and on the one hand, that's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, like humanity's first instinct is, ooh, a newfound element or like a newfound being. Let's pick it apart and prod its organs and extract its blood and drink it like we're human Draculas or something. But yeah, I mean, on the other hand, this actually makes sense in terms of resurrections, because obviously, like from what we've seen, like I mean, the obvious kind of concept is that alien and human biology and physiology and all that stuff, it differs massively. Like, you know, if you look, I mean, Thor, he looks like a regular guy, but he is pretty much a god. He is by all definitions an alien. He has the super strength, he has the magical powers and everything. He has different abilities that you know, like that allow him to transcend far above human beings. So with aliens, they have properties to them that can help humans scientifically and medically speaking. So it would make sense if they found this particular alien, and this one had like, you know, like a healing factor or like some kind of regenerative property in his body that they used a lot of to bring Coulson back to life. So maybe you know, like maybe this was something that they still wanted to try to see if like regeneration would still work, and then, you know, he had been dead for days, but maybe it was still kind of like he had been like dead, like not too long for it to not have worked, basically. So maybe like it was still like, you know, his body hadn't decayed too much. There was still like a teeny tiny inkling of life, or maybe there was like his life wasn't too far gone for the regeneration to actually like fail or anything. Maybe you could still draw some new cells up, and then those cells would spread and start pumping life throughout him again. Maybe something like that happened, maybe. But yeah, with this stuff, it seems very, I mean, you know, it's what they would do. They'd take these aliens and like presumably the dead ones as well, and they'd like harvest their cells and see how differently they worked compared to human cells, and like what these cells, like what alien cells are like compared to human ones, in the sense like how they interact with each other. So if you take like a dead human cell and a living alien cell and push it together and see what happens when they interact, like stuff like that, like research went into it to have them create all these different serums and stuff, and they used one of them on Coulson. So it worked. Whatever they put into Coulson, it actually worked. So yeah, but what I'm still kind of questioning I'm questioning the origin of this alien, because we know of a lot of aliens throughout the MCU. We know like the Asgard. I mean, the Asgardians, I'd say they still count as in some sense they still count as aliens. So Asgardians, pretty much anyone from the Nine Realms. We have the Kree, we have the Skrulls, and the Skrulls were in Captain Marvel. We saw that they were literally the first alien race that S.H.I.E.L.D. actually encountered. Like the Skrulls when Captain Marvel came in. So you have them. You have the Titans. I think. Well, I mean, Thanos is the last one, so I guess I guess he'd still somewhat count. The Guardians are each of a different alien race. Like Quill's part alien still. So you have a bunch of them. So I don't know if this still draws from something in the movies, or if this introduces something new that the movies are never going to use. Like with Deathlock, he's a character that the movies would likely never use, so it gives the show free pass to use him. So maybe this is an alien that, you know, hasn't at the time maybe hadn't popped up in the movies yet. So the TV shows figured like, hey, let's use this alien for this super cool kind of plot twist. And plot twist it is. Plot twist it is. One hell of a twist. But yeah, so this is the alien that they used to bring back Coulson. This is Tahiti. I mean, what Tahiti stands for, I'm still curious about. Like, if Tahiti, like, the alien that, or the alien. I can't tell you for H and the alien, like the first two letters are the ones I actually guess, but either way, that's not what it's going to be. Tahiti, I mean, it might stand for something. I mean, it's written in a way that it's like an acronym for something. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just like a clever way of labeling. So like Tahiti itself was just a vision that they gave Coulson to stop reminding him of the surgical room. Like, it was just a vision they gave him of like a massage and mojitos out on the beach and everything. So Tahiti likely is just like a label for something that's written out to be an acronym. So, but this is Tahiti anyway. This is pretty much what Tahiti is. But yeah, I mean, damn, God friggity damn it. Yeah, Coulson was definitely shocked by all of this. Yeah, Coulson was without a doubt shocked by each and every piece of this. But yeah, so this alien is the one and there's little, I can't tell if those are symbols or scratchings, but there's something on his chest like a H and like a cross and something. I'm assuming those are like maybe surgical marks of some sort, but I don't mean it's glowing in the light. I mean that could just be the light, but yeah, I mean dude is ripped too. A ripped alien. I mean, I don't know if getting alien blood gave Coulson magical like a magical six-pack or something, but I don't know. I think maybe that's off the table. But I mean, hey, who's to say Coulson doesn't already have a six-pack? Maybe like a middle-aged six-pack. But yeah, I mean, his organs are still kind of there. I think I see his like alien intestines like leaking out of some sort. But I mean, I don't know. Again, alien physiology, it differs from humans. By definition, it differs. So I mean, for all we know, this guy could have more intestines than a heart, or more like 3 more lungs and half less of a liver, or maybe no liver. Maybe he needs no liver. But yeah, I mean, poor guy. He's presumably killed in action, then he has his body parts harvested for medical purposes. I don't really think that they like he signed anything that actually like gave his consent for his body to be donated to science in this way, but I don't know. Something tells me that wasn't his dying thought. Like, oh god, if I die on Earth, please let them harvest my body and use them to save other people, especially dying SHIELD agents who are going to get their own show on TV. but yeah, this is still one hell of a twist. So the blue alien is who they actually took the blood from to save Coulson. So yeah, that was the blue alien. So look forward to seeing more about him. I mean, I don't even know if I could guess his race. I mean, he's blue. Nebula's blue. I think Ronan's blue. Is Ronan blue? I can't tell. I think Ronan might be blue, right? Yeah, I think he might be blue. I mean, he may, but I don't know. I mean, even if he is blue, there's no guarantee this guy's a Kree or anything. I think, especially given when this actually came out, when this first aired, I think it would make more sense, like for the alien to be something closer to what the movies might use. Like maybe like in the obviously in the MCU they play a bigger role, but then in the TV shows they still play somewhat of like a contributing role. So either way, I don't know if this guy is a Kree or he doesn't look like a Skrull. Skrulls are green. He could be from Nebula's home planet, and Nebula's blue, so wherever she was picked up by Thanos from, then maybe he's from that planet too. But either way, he's an alien. He's an alien, and his blood was used to create multiple GH test tubes, and he was used to resurrect Coulson, and now also save Skye from the brink of death. So everybody say thank you, Mr. Alien. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. It's good to see good to see new faces in the crowd as well, with Garrett and Triplet. Good to see them being introduced, and looking forward to seeing more of them in the show, especially with the history that was introduced between them and Coulson and Ward. So that was cool, and they got on with the team pretty well as well. So that was cool to see. Good to see Skye. I think Skye is now just resting up, so she deserves a well rest after being almost killed. But good to see her back from the brink of death and now just resting up, back to a stable status. Good to see that. And Garrett took, I believe Garrett took Quinn off to the fridge where he was originally scheduled to actually be taken to, before Garrett negotiated the deal to keep him on the bus. So that's cool. So hopefully we'll see him being thoroughly interrogated there, thoroughly and brutally interrogated. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have from this episode. I think we had Lorelei at the end, who is undoubtedly Asgardian. So I'm interested to see what the story with her is. And see if we have any other Asgardian figures dropping down onto. I doubt Thor, but I don't know. Maybe Sif. I think, like Sif would be around by the time this aired, right? I mean, this was just after the Dark World, and I think she was in the Dark World. So yeah, she should be around for this, or maybe her and the Warriors 3, or maybe just the Warriors 2. I mean, either way, I am kind of half expecting like another Asgardian figure to drop down and help out with the situation. But either way, we will see all of that next week, in next week's installment of the season. Episode. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. Everyone is in a much more peaceful kind of state of mind now, knowing that Skye is safer, and knowing that she's in no more danger, and knowing that Quinn is locked away at the fridge as well. So that's cool to see. But I mean, Coulson, you could. His face when he saw the operating table he was on for his mental surgeries, his face then was literally like he was seeing a ghost in real time whilst also talking to Fitz. But then, his face when he saw the alien, and also his face when he came back from seeing the alien, like Garrett was right, that was an accurate description. It was literally almost like Coulson had just seen a ghost and stuff like that. He literally just had seen something traumatic from his past resurfacing, and he was getting all these new memories. So stuff about Tahiti is being unveiled all the time. This alone might just be the tip of the iceberg. More backstory on this might be the chipping away at the iceberg that actually gets Coulson more of his memories back, and maybe even if he confronts Fury. But I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, Garrett was right. Coulson was undeniably shaken and traumatized from seeing all of this and realizing the truth behind his recovery. So yeah, Fury did not mess around. Fury did not mess around when he wanted Coulson brought back. He tried literally everything in and out of the books. So yeah, but that is pretty much all I have from this episode. If I've missed out on anything, make sure to actually let me know in the comments below, and just share your thoughts as well, what you thought of this episode, and what you thought of this reveal, and what you think the alien was used for, and all that sort of stuff, and what you think of Garrett, and just everything that happened. But yeah, that is it from this episode. So that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.T.I Season 1, Episode 14, titled Tahiti. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next in the season. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.